Okay, hi. Now we are live. Welcome to the first podcast. Hey, yeah, it looks like. Better check if we are live correctly, the sound, everything correctly. If you can check, please. We have some dude and we have Agent Solas with us, mates, uh, mates in the club, and we're, we're going to talk about the first the first thing we're going to talk about is all about us, all about the club, and all about Star Atlas and Vanguard. Vanguard, what is Vanguard? You will learn about it today, and you will learn about the club today also, and our journey in Star Atlas. So, what's up, some dude? How are you? Oh, just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. Dominic, thanks for saying that. They're not hearing you. Let me see now.
Well, thanks, Tom.
Okay, come on now. Go on. I think you can hear them now, Dominic.
Can everybody hear me? Can we get a one in chat? Hey, Dominic, good to see you. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I think it's working now.
Okay, so I was saying I'm a Star Atlasian from Dallas. I was pretty heavy into the Star Citizen, or I am pretty heavy into the Star Citizen community, and I was looking for something that was a little bit more tangible. So the it seemed like Star Citizen was a great place to have NFTs and stuff. I posted about it and got wrecked on Spectrum. So I decided to look for other options and I found Star Atlas and now here we are.
Awesome.
So
And what about you, Solas?
I'm Agent Solus, Arizona, USA. Yeah, I came from Star to Star Atlas. Played various other games. I'm big into crypto, and I was checking out this crypto gaming scene, and couldn't find any good projects at the time. Heard about Star Atlas, got in, and I fell in love. You know, the community's awesome, the guilds are awesome. Everything about this community, I think, is really going to project this project and go to the moon. But yeah, I'm a pretty competitive guy, so you know, we've done little tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't wait till see what Star Atlas brings us.
I don't think you get off the hook, Cap. We want to know who you are too.
My turn. Well, the first thing we are seeing your image all black. Is that okay? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You can do it if you want to do something. Something crazy. Okay, I was really looking for new games in crypto games, NFT games, and so on. And I couldn't find a lot of them with the good quality. The everything was like bad quality, bad all like games from long ago, like in crypto,
Yeah.
everything starting like that. When I saw the Startless pictures, it was like, what's this? I need to check this. Then I
When did you
found
get started?
in Startless, like I think September or October, not this year, previous year, 21,
21.
2021.
That's
Uh,
basically the beginning, right?
I think it started that year, but at the beginning of the year, and especially in April, around April, more or less, I think it was the first thing with the posters, the mega posters, meta posters, yeah. And then in August, they had something about that also. and then I found it around October, more or less, September, October, and I started just reading and looking at the guilds, looking at what people said. At first, I was not even chatting or or typing anything, just reading and getting all the information. And then I started talking to some guys and helping. When I learned something, and then I start helping people in that area, in that matter, in that topic, and I started like responding to new people. In that moment, a lot of people were coming to Star Atlas, to the Star Atlas Discord, new people. So they were all having kind of the same questions. I was talking to them, and then I started talking to people in Spanish after that, and then we, like, three of us got together and started creating a group of Spanish people to join a guild. We started looking for the best guild, and we have Ace King on the chat. Hey, hi, welcome.
Hey,
By the way,
from China.
yeah,
Awesome.
from China, awesome, yeah. By the way, I didn't say welcome, Dominic. Thanks a lot, and welcome.
Yeah, Dom. We're really glad you're here.
Yeah. So we started creating a group of Spanish people and looking for the best guild, and we were among different kind of people, different likes and so on. But in the end, we chose the club because of the community perspective. You know, we were trying to create a group and a community thing, you know, focused on the community, on the group, on the people.
How many people are you guys at now?
Well, we were more, but now we are less, like in every guild.
Yeah, I mean, people lost. There's been a lot of headache about the status of the bear market and everything, and like.
Yeah, right now, I couldn't count them, but not too many right now. But just a lot of people like sleeping. You know, they are asleep and they are waiting for everything to get rolling, to get started, for the game to start, and for maybe the crypto and the economy to go up again.
For me, the faction fleet is enough to keep me engaged. I just, like, even if I'm just popping in for a second, I like pop in, check out my fleet, and then look in the marketplace, because sometimes you'll find crazy stuff for sale. Like, people are just trying to move stuff, so you never know. I got an F4 for like $400.
Wow.
Oh, no, it was like 450. But that alone keeps me engaged.
Of course.
It's a really good time to come in the last couple months.
That's what I've been telling everybody. I'm like, it's all on. It's a fire sale, man. Like, you're getting stuff at a prices. I feel sorry for everybody that, you know, when it was real high.
Yeah.
But like I always say, you don't lose until you sell. So it is what it is.
Exactly. And in the meantime, we're getting, as you said, with Faction Fleet, with Score, we are getting some rewards. So we are getting more ships with it, maybe, or well, we can wait and play the game and play the game until it goes up again. So yeah, if you don't sell, you don't lose, or if you sell now and you buy other ships, you don't lose.
That's exactly. I mean, that's my whole philosophy. I mean, we're getting a little off topic, but basically, I look at it as the best savings account I've ever had, because you don't get those kind of returns on anything else. Nothing here is financial advice, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah, that's important.
But like, you have your faction fleet running, it's generating Atlas for you. There's no savings account on the planet that gives you greater than 3%, or I don't know, that's not a fact, but like, savings accounts are really low. But you can actually, did we lose Solace?
Yeah, no problem. He's reconnecting, rejoining.
Yeah, but I guess I found the guild because when I first joined, like I'm sure like everybody else, there's 1,000 questions you have. Like, because I didn't understand anything. I didn't even know what Web3 gaming was when I got involved with Star Atlas. Like I Googled spaceship game that has NFTs. And then it popped up. So I was like, oh, badass. So then I connected to Discord and just started asking questions. And then the club was actually in the guild recruitment tab, and they just seemed like their mission was super cool, and the fact that it was multi-faction seemed cool to me because I'm not like I'm pretty sure that I want to be Mud, but I don't know if I'm going to be married to Mud the whole time.
Mm.
Like, so if I'm with a group where I can move around if I want to, it just seems like an extra bonus. And then I found all the cool stuff that you can do. I guess now everybody can do it. You don't have to join the club to use Jeeves anymore, but pretty awesome.
Yeah, the thing is that that's connected to what I was saying about the community and the club, right? I was looking for a place where we could join and be part of something, be taken into account, and the club was having a lot of interesting things. Like, for example, they had a program about if you invite people, then you could get a big prize. So there were some very good ships as prizes, and then they also had the like a kind of surprise from now on, different things. One of them was, for example, a necklace, which was a new thing released by Star Atlas on FTX before everything happened with that. And that necklace was like 70, 80, or 90, something like that, dollars. But then when it was launched, the price went up to 400, something like that. And we got it, the 20 people most active in Discord, in the club's Discord, we got it for free, just like a surprise, just for being part of the club and being active right there.
Awesome.
It was like like the club said, it's giving back to our community. So if you're part of the community and you are in the club in an active way, you get something back, and the tools that the club creates are part of that philosophy. Also, it's giving
For
back to all the community, not only the club's community.
the resupply for me is a big one because I go out of town and I'm not sitting at my computer, and having the refresh so that I don't actually lose any of my potentials is pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Solace, how did you end up in the club?
Yeah, sorry guys, I disconnected there for a little second.
No problem.
My computer froze or whatever. Yeah, I was just searching guilds in Star Atlas, and there's several good guilds, but I just felt like the club was more well established than some other guilds, and like we have tons of members, we have quite a bit of assets, so I know, like, when I go out on mission, I have a bunch of people behind me with a bunch of assets that could help me, even if I don't have claim stakes or whatever, guild does or whatever like that. So that was pretty cool, and I was really everybody in the Discord was friendly, so I'm like, oh, I think I found my home, and
Home.
it's it's pretty cool. Like, and then the people in the club are cool. Like, you have crazy, like, investors, you have NFT creators, you have all this vast of people in the club, with different skill sets, which is pretty cool, I think. So, and
I
we have
think
a lot
it's
of.
gonna be. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Oh no,
it's
you're
like I
good.
think
You're
it's
good.
important that because Web3 is new and we
Hmm.
don't really understand completely what the ramifications are of having actual currency tied to in-game assets yet, and we don't know how that's going to play out. I think it's important to have a mix of investors and
Gamers.
gamers, right?
Yep.
Because the games needs to be fun. That's how we
Mhm.
that's what we want to do. We want to have fun.
Mhm.
But and having the investors can make sure that as a whole we stay solvent. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, and that's one of the
make sure
misconceptions
choices.
about the club too. Like a lot of people just see us as like investors, or okay, they got a big bag, but they're not gamers or whatever, or they're not preparing. I think we're preparing. We do. We play throughout the week. We have a you know, we like to invite other guilds to play with us on Wednesdays or whatever game we're playing. Our EV.io NFT play to earn first person shooter. We were third in the world. You know,
What's ev.io? I
it's
haven't
a
played that yet.
it's kind of like a Halo browser game, NFT game. It's free to play. You don't need anything to play. You could earn more with buying their NFTs and stuff like that. So that's how I got started in that game. Is the club, they give back to the community. Not only do we have Pit Stop, you know, Explorer app, Jeeves bot, and all that, right? But Void, got several whitelist tokens for a few projects. Was giving us whitelist tokens, so getting into other projects for very minimal. Um, so I got a whitelist token or two. I think I got two whitelist tokens, minted a legendary NFT and something else, and then I believe I won a contest and they gave me a pistol NFT. You know, so they pretty much got me into EV.io, and we're still playing it. I mostly rent now, but we were third in the world. We conquered that game. But I made a lot of money in that game just by playing, farming, and then that 1.5 soul um, gun I minted or with the whitelist. I sold for like 10 soul. So like yeah, like
That's
just
cool.
the opportunities I got in this guild are
We need to
pretty
get
awesome.
everybody into Star Citizen so that we can have
Mhm.
tournaments and Arena Commander and
Yeah.
stuff too.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
I got you over to the dark side.
Oh yeah, I'm playing it. I'm still learning, but you know.
We
Yeah, by the way, I'm starting to come back to Star Citizen too. I played a little, and then maybe I can join both of you one of these days.
yeah, you should. I mean, I think that the flight in Star Citizen is going to be closer to what to expect from Star Atlas. So if we wanted to practice, I think Star Citizen is a good place to do it. Star
Yeah.
Citizen is also more complicated than what they said that they want to do. So if we get good at that,
Hmm.
then those skills should transition. We should be even better in Star Atlas.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm hoping anyway. We'll see
Yep.
how it plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Practice, good networking. Your network is your net worth.
That's right.
Surround yourself with good people.
And as long
Yeah,
as everybody's having fun.
Yep.
yeah, and all kind of practice with ships. I think it's good for other games. When you know how to fly here or there, then you can go to another one, and everything counts. And by the way, it's a good thing that we have your perspective from a Star Citizen player, because a lot of people think this is one thing against the other thing. I don't see it that way here, at least.
Now, I think that they have two different goals. Like
Hmm.
Star Citizen has the potential to do the metaverse style like Star Atlas wants to do, but they're not interested in it. right? Like they want to be a video game alone, and like they don't want to have any kind of extra stuff going on top. Whereas I think Star Atlas is they think a little bit further down the line, like these metaverses, whether you hate them or not, are coming, and they are going to be more than just a place where you go to play video games. Like, you could just go and just hang out, and like your avatars will talk. And like even now, I don't know, you can't see it behind me, but I have the Oculus and stuff too, and like you can go in and just chat and meet people and stuff. So I think that sometimes I wish that Star Citizen would make an engine that they could just sell to Star Atlas, so that they didn't have to go through all the headache of learning how to build dynamic server environments and stuff like that. Like just buy that from them, or put the economy and the NFTs into Star Citizen. I know it's not going to happen, but I think that would be pretty cool.
Well, the thing about the engine, I think it's one of the hardest things that Star Citizen had to do, and it took quite a long time for them. But Star Atlas, I think it's a good approach if they're using Unreal Engine now instead of creating their own. Of course, they have to create other things and then work on the network, the servers, and so on. But that's also on Solana, related to Solana, so they have to do it by themselves because that's
Yeah.
new. That's a new way to do it.
Yeah,
Also, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Unreal 5.1, like that came out it was a really good time for that to come out because it expanded the distance that you could draw from.
Yeah.
So like now that they can do larger scale things, before it was kind of like, well, you can make a city, or you can't have high level of detail if you want to have something huge. But 5.1 actually introduced a lot of cool features that allow you to really get a grand scale. Because when I first saw ships like the Super Phoenix and the C11 and stuff, I was like, that's completely infeasible. Like that many assets on one ship would tank everything. But like as we see like the engine improving, it's like, oh, actually, yeah, we'll be able to sneak this stuff in. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, there are some techniques, or there were some techniques already with how to try and manage those kind of situations with bigger space, but in different sections with different maps or things like that. But of course, as you say, now it increased from 20 square kilometers, 22 or something like that square kilometers, to 88 millions.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Right? That's so cool. And like some of the changes are you just click a checkbox and
Yeah.
boom, okay, now that's going to start doing all of the algorithms and stuff on its own. You just click that checkbox.
What's Star Citizen on again?
Star Citizen has got, so they at first they were using another company for their engine. Then they got in a little bit of trouble because they were making 2 games instead of 1. And then I think the decision was made that it was just better to go and make their own. So now I can't remember what they call it, but it's its own thing, and it's
Okay.
And that's part of the reason why the project is 10 years in and it's in alpha.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
but by the way, we have Ace King saying that he said it some time ago already. But packing my bags, heading to Japan for a few weeks. Nice, going to Japan.
Nice.
Wow.
I lived in Japan for 8 years.
Really?
I love that place.
Oh my God.
It's such a cool country, man.
8 years.
Like 8 years. I lived in Okinawa for a while, and then in Tokyo for a while.
Wow.
And I love that place. I want to go back. I want to go back as an adult and see all the shit I didn't care about as a kid. You know, like go revisit all the temples and the Emperor's Palace and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have Tony, his Spanish mate, a mate in the club and a mate in Star Atlas, of course. Hi, Tony.
Okay.
¿Qué tal, Tony?
Love
Saludo por ahí.
boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yes.
think you know, we pit each other, like we kind of go against each other, like Web3 and traditional gaming, and Star Citizen and Star Atlas. Like a lot of the developers are from Star Citizen. Like that's why I enjoy your channel so much, some dude, because you're a Star Citizen channel, you cover Star Atlas, and I like to see the conversations on your comments, going back and at it. We don't need to pit against each other. It's it it's I don't know. I consider it Star Citizen 2.0 with
Right.
assets you could hold on to, sell.
It always
Um,
drives me nuts that the Star Citizen community uses the same talking points about Star Atlas that all the other gamers use about Star Citizen. Like they're like, "Oh, this game's a scam. It's never going to be made." Blah blah. It's like you're
I'm
saying the
sure.
exact same thing
Yep.
that they were saying about you, and you were calling them idiots.
Yeah, I'm sure Elite Dangerous said the same thing about Star Citizen, vice versa. Whenever a new game comes in, and it makes sense. Star Citizen doesn't want to, lose their luster, and
But it's not a competition. Like
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like I have more real estate in my brain than to just
Mhm.
play one game, right?
Yeah.
Like,
hmm
I think it all comes from the people not in crypto, like being kind of scared about crypto, and they get the idea from other big companies or even institutions and governments about crypto that it's a bad thing, and then it's easy to have a bad feeling about a crypto game. But if you really see it like in a simple way, like the only thing is that I own my ships for real, and I can resell them anywhere I want.
and it's not a violation of terms of service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like
Right,
that.
yeah.
You don't even need to know anything else about the rest of the thing. It's just a game with that, and for me that was enough. Then of course you can think about the metaverse, which is a huge idea, and that's what really got me into Star Atlas in the end. I was looking for a game, and then I found what I really understand as a metaverse. A metaverse which is like creating jobs, creating companies, creating opportunities, and an interactive world in a huge environment together with a game, but with also an economy where a lot of things can happen. Even I think a lot of things, most of the things, we don't still know about them.
Right. I mean, I could for sure see like people that their real world job is making customized starships for Star Atlas, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to this guy because you know that he has the crafting ability to make all the weapon sets you want and everything, and like he's put the hours in, so he gets that, or he or she, and then that could, I mean, realistically, be a real job.
Hmm. Look,
Yeah, I think
Ace
DAX
King.
are going to be interesting. I think you're going to have jobs in even the DAX. With the DAC tools, or you're going to soon be able to, put your DAC logo on your uniform, ship, whatever, and then DAX could literally have a business renting ships whenever that comes available, and I think that's going to onboard a lot of traditional gamers too.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Hey,
huge.
Ace King says every day I get bashed by Chinese Star Citizen players on my channel. It's like a China version of YouTube, but I kind of like it because at least they pay attention. And one day, if SA makes it, they will come. That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
like every article that comes out, like Star Atlas made a $5 million ship. What were they thinking? Like, okay, yes, I can understand why people would mock that, and especially when they don't understand like how that plays into the larger economy and what the benefits of actually buying that are, right? Especially when it was at $1 million versus 5 million. But all those articles, like they put the name out there,
Hmm.
right? So people hear it, and then all of a sudden, just like Star Citizen, people learn the name and they see all these crappy articles on how it's a scam. But then all of a sudden they're on TikTok or YouTube and they're like, this looks awesome.
Mhm.
Like this is something I know about, and look at this gameplay. Let me go check it out. I think it's going to be good in the long run.
A lot of people aren't into crypto or NFTs yet, and I think that's the biggest hump. You know, um, soon everything's going to be NFT. You buy a ticket off Ticketmaster, that's going to be a NFT. You can't have a fake, ticket from scalpers or anything. It's going to be an NFT that you could transfer or whatever. And that's what these ships are. They have real world utility. People are like, oh, it's just a game.
And already some big companies are getting into NFTs. I think it was, for example, Nike.
Mm-hmm.
They,
Nike, yep.
I think they
Amazon.
they were creating their NFTs and fashion things about it. So it's like, so most people get scared about it because they don't know about it and they hear bad things, but it's just as simple as that. You get ownership of your assets, ownership of your skins, ownership of your ships. All of those things are yours, and that's the only thing that really should matter to a gamer. That's what I
What I
think, at
what
least.
I tell people like, hey, right now, if you get $5 worth of Solana, or maybe $10 worth of Solana, and then $10 worth of USDC, you can get an air bike and just, I mean, you're in, and you just need 7 days, and you can just get in the showroom. That's nothing, right? You're
That's
looking at
nothing.
like a $15 investment,
Yeah.
and if it
Get
goes, it goes.
some R4. Get a like I always tell people X4, R4, and some Solana.
Yeah,
That's all you need. Just get in the project and hang out.
sure.
I mean, and we're all gonna start. Like, doesn't matter if you have $5 worth of ships or $500,000 worth of ships. We are all starting with an X4
Yeah,
or an air bike or something. Like, you will not be able to fly those bigger ships until you earn it,
Yep.
right? So you're gonna have to level that up. So it's, if you want to be involved in the beginning, you can get licensed and grow with everybody. It's not like you're just gonna get wiped out. There's not gonna be on day one people with gigantic fleets like C11s coming in
hmm.
and just wiping the floor. They won't be able to have that many people.
Yeah, and there's gonna be something important like the guild. So having a group of people with more ships and a good strategy and all those things, that's gonna be really important also. So it's not just like, okay, I don't have a big ship, I have just one little ship. No, it's you can be part of a big group, of an important group, like for example the club. So that's in other games, like for example Eve Online, it was something like that, but with no real assets. It was like not real money, but you were part of a big group and you're not flying alone. So they had huge battles and everything, with a huge economy and so on. So this is gonna be like that, but you can start with only one little ship, or you can start with more money, but you have your place. Here, there's a place for everyone.
And Eve Online wasn't supposed to have money, but ended up actually
Yeah,
being like where it had real financial impact.
yeah,
Like, so at least Star Atlas is coming into it at the beginning ready to handle that kind of stuff. Whereas some of the drama with Eve came from the fact that it started involving real world money. So like, and that it didn't have any support for it or framework for it at all.
mhm. Solas, you
What do you
were going to
guys?
say something?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Solas?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. I think we can talk about what Vanguard is.
Yeah,
Agent Solas. So you're
that's your
the
baby,
leader.
Silas.
You're the leader. Talk about Vanguard, please. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Vanguard's just our flagship first fleet of the club. It's kind of like uh our Blue Angels or Red Arrows kind of specialty squadron, right? So like kind of like special operations slash recruitment slash you know uh, showcase our pilot skills. Um, you know,
What made you think about
defend Copa.
doing the tournaments?
The tournaments, I just thought it would be fun. So we've done I started doing the EV.io team, right? I was in kind of charge of that. We did really well. Third in the last clan war. And we I don't know, when we did, you know, Vanguard, we're like, okay, well, how do we let's make this, group, which you guys are part of, and let's start doing tournaments to kind of get our name out there, see if we could you know, get some good good news from us kind of thing, but also see where we're at, and then also working with other guilds and playing with other guilds. It's fun to play with other guilds. So we did the first Vanguard like Top Gun tournament. uh it was Eclipse and Star Atlas Italia that did it. It was pretty interesting. Everybody, really good pilots on everybody's team. uh I think we took that one. Um, and then, I keep on trying to do like EVI.io tournaments with the Star Atlas community. Um, I'm probably going to do another squadrons with fleet battles this time. So take down capital ships, hit certain areas of the capital ship or whatnot. Wednesday after during the brew, we're going to be doing a Stellaris with like Bulk and Believe Star Atlas Italia, so if anybody wants to join. But yeah, so just Vanguard is, we wanted to get some good advertisement for the club. Show, what we could do. Like I said, common misconception is we don't have gamers in the club, which is definitely not uh, definitely not, what's the word?
But I mean,
Yeah.
Vanguard, we're starting to build lore, and like we have custom avatars and stuff. Like, it's definitely, as far as like a game squadron goes, your plans for it are on a bigger scale. Like, I really like the way you approached it, because you were like, hey, thinking about doing this. What do you guys think? And then we started to just build from the ground floor, and I thought that whole process was super cool.
Yeah. It was Lloyd's idea, and then yeah, we just built, kept on talking to each other. We started doing the AI bot to, create characters that we, want to represent us. We built the Vanguard logo, with the AI bot. I think you came up with the motto in Latin.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Google Translate.
Yeah, and then Grist and Lloyd made some really good articles and lore behind it on Medium. Like there's a whole article on Medium that's pretty really good. It's actually a really good read. So just develop Vanguard lore, club lore, and all of our lore is actually like real life things, like you know um how we started from doing infantry movements on ev.io, but translated it into the lore. Everything we do is another chapter of our lore that we keep on adding. So we're technically already playing the game, and we're already making our metaverse characters and everything like that, building a backstory, everything.
We're
So
also
it's really
building
just
relationships. I mean, part of this game is going to be politics,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like the connections that we make. So you said we were with Star S Italian and Eclipse, and what was
Mhm.
super cool is like that was a solid group. Like we
Mhm.
not only did we battle each other, but we talked to each other, and it was
Yeah.
really cool because I feel like those kind of connections, you're going to be like, oh shit,
Mm.
you don't just mess with Vanguard. If you mess with Vanguard, you're messing with all these guys too. Like,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff, it's cool. And those
Healthy.
relationships can last for a
Mhm.
long time.
Yeah, it's healthy. It's
Oh,
healthy
we got
competition.
hologram news is watching. He
Yeah.
said, "Did someone say politics?
Yeah, we.
Not toxic politics like in real world. Good politics."
Yeah, but there's gonna be a lot of politics here.
I
But
mean, it is. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, even like
it's a big part of the game.
that. Yeah, that tournament, like just like dialects, like we had English speakers, we had Spanish speakers, Italian speakers, and French speakers, all in that, communicating, having a good time.
Hmm.
Didn't skip a beat at all. Just friendly competition.
Yeah, and I was going to
Oh, it
say
is.
exactly that before
Mhm.
some dudes was saying it about relationships and that kind of stuff that is going to be really important. It's not only alliances in the mm, proper sense, like formally alliance,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be also like this, like okay, we play together, we play this tournament together, and we make good relationships, we know each other, and that's
Mhm.
also very important for me. But also one of the things, not only about these tournaments, but one of the things that I liked since the beginning about the club was this kind of thing that the club is a big guild. The club has big plans. We are getting ready. We are doing things internally, most of them, but a lot of tools for the community. But I mean, this thing about community is not only internally; it's also uh, creating relationships and alliances.
Yep.
And if we play a tournament, it's done in a friendly way. We are
Yeah.
obviously trying to win the tournament, but we are not going here in the tournament or there in the metaverse. We're not going like we're gonna be overpowered or
Yeah.
above anyone else. We're not going to be trying to go after everybody and do some damage. No, it's more the other way around. It's the philosophy about the club is that we are part of the community, and we want everybody to be part of the metaverse and to have success together. Obviously, there's going to be wars, battles, or whatever, but we are not going to create problems. We are trying to help everybody who wants to be friends and to have to be part of this metaverse. And it's like more about creating relationships than creating problems.
Yes.
That's
I
something that I love.
agree. And the fact that it's international is super cool too, because like, it brings us together. Like if I need to go to Spain, I know I got a homie. I can stop at in his house and see what's up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, now
Yeah, it's
I
really
live at
interesting.
the coast now, so it's really awesome
Oh,
here.
even better. Even better.
Yeah,
But
I can tell you.
we practice with some of these other guilds. Just even if it's not an alliance or anything, just friendly relationships and playing with these other guilds. Let's just say we'll say Bulk or Star Atlas Italia or something like that. We know how they operate, so we could team up if we ever had to for a mission or a freight mission or whatever, and we know how each other operate, and we have good communication with them. Even though it's in a totally different language, we still communicate very well with them. So I think a lot of guilds are kind of standoffish. No, let's all talk. Let's all game. Let's all have a good time till this real game comes out. It's probably going to be beneficial for your guild and mine. Yeah.
Right. We can all rise together. I mean,
Mhm.
that sounds good to me.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, you're going to have people that just have a different mindset, and you can't avoid that. Like, there's going to be people that their goal is to get to the top, and like they don't care about who they step on or everything like that. And I'm glad that that's not what we plan to do.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
if the goal shouldn't be our growth on top of other people, right? We should be trying to grow, and like we can raise people up along the way. That's what we should do. Because at the end of the day, it's a video game, and we should have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and if we can grow and be successful without destroying or without harming anybody else, then for me it's much better. Of course, this is a game where battles are going to happen, and wars are going to happen, but if there's no need, we are not going to create a war. Only if problems come to us, that's the idea here. Of course, we are going to react, but we're not going to be the ones creating that situation on purpose. That's the thing, and I love that. I love that. I'm like that generally. I love trying to help people whenever they want to be helped. And everybody who knows me, I think they can tell you that I'm helping here or there when I can. And well, that's what I like. So I liked it when I saw it in the club.
Yeah, we even, these gaming events we do, we even, teach them some of our tactics, or they teach us this game, we teach them that game, and it's cool. We're all benefiting,
Especially now, like if I have something that will make you better, and then you being better in turn makes me better, right? Like, so if your skill level's up here, but everybody you fight is down here, you never grow. But if everybody, like, if you can get here, and then they're like just a little bit above you, then you can practice and get better. And like, I think that's super cool. I'm a fan.
Building a sword, iron versus iron.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Lloyd and Vlad, they made the club after like Copa kind of lore, multi-faction. That's why we're multi-faction. We're trying to get along with everybody, So, yeah, we'll have to build some good communication with the guilds, and
I do want us to buy a Titan though, so we need to get on that. It's really easy to be peaceful when you have the biggest gun in the star system.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we haven't talked about Sage. We haven't said anything about Sage.
I mean, honestly, I think we should do an entire podcast on Sage.
A lot of
because
a lot of
there's
things.
so much to go over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that the DevNet. I'm glad that at first the Dev Zero is just going to be kind of like we get our hands on it and learn it, because it seems like it's going to be a full-fledged game, right? Like,
for sure,
where there's tactics and strategy, and like the things you do actually are going to matter. So I'm excited that it's not just going to plop down and then it's going to build. Okay, first we're going to do this, then you'll start putting this in, and then we can grow with that. And that's another advantage of starting now, because if you start early, you can grow like that. But if you come in a year or 2 years from now,
behind the curve,
you're way behind the curve. And I mean, the good news is I'll make you a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do it. But
I made a second account because of Sage. Something I said I wasn't gonna do. I made a crafting account and my main account. So we'll see with my C11.
Yeah, I think right now we are all thinking about different strategies and what we can do and all that, but I think it's still going to change a lot because a lot of things are not are like still a surprise, we
Do you
will find
guys
out.
do you think they're gonna be crafters, or like what do you think you're gonna do in Sage, Kep?
Hey, good question. I usually like multitasking. I know that usually if you specialize, you get a better result. But and that's the way Startless is creating everything. Like you should specialize whenever you can. But in my life, I generally keep it that way, and not only because of a decision. It's because that's how I am. I like knowing a little of this, a little of that, all those things like that, and doing a little of maybe crafting, a little of farming, a little of bounty hunting, a little of fighting if needed, also, which will be needed for sure.
H&N just said specialization will be key in Sage. Yeah, I think you're probably right, but
Exactly.
what about you, Solace? What do you think you're gonna do?
I have one account set up for just crafting and mining, pretty much, or land management or whatever. Then my other main account is just going to be defense oriented.
Are you guys buying ships? So is your fleet composition, are you starting to build it towards a specific goal, or are you just buying what you think looks cool?
What I mostly think is cool. No, but most of my ships are like, I have a few racers and stuff still, but I'm heavy on fighters, I'm heavy on medical, and I'm heavy on scanning. So I'll be able to scan, fight, and send medical. And then I also have a R4, R8. So
nice.
I'm gonna do a little bit of everything, but mostly I would say defense if I had to pick one: bounty hunting or defense.
That's good that you have the clear idea of what you want to do in that matter. I mean, you can have a lot of different ships for different things, but your idea is like focused. And what about you, some dude? What are you thinking?
Well, I think I might. So like I was telling you guys earlier, my firepower right now is up over 16K. I have this vision in my mind where I have a fleet of Pierce ships that are straight just defending all my territories and my stakes and everything, and then just selling everything that I my resources that come in. And then I have a Fimble fleet that I was thinking would be like a bounty hunting fleet, and I would use that to make money the most. Hey, Lobo. But I don't know. I'm worried that the risk for that is going to have to be high enough, or the risk and reward cross section is going to have to be high enough, because if not, then I might just go and kind of do what Solace is saying and focus on crafting and industrializing. But I really love combat. I'm a good pilot.
No, I know you're a naval captain or fleet commander and Star Citizen. You have your own crew.
Yeah, the hologram is
you
asking
gonna-
about crew members for crafting. Thoughts on the airbike strategy?
Yeah, I got 50 air bikes ready
I
for
don't understand why doesn't the air bike come with guns? I have 25 air bikes and it has zero firepower.
Some of the new concept art has guns, so it might be added.
But it's in the write-up. It's like you're buying the bare bones, no guns, because if you want that, you can add it later. We're giving you the best price.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's in the lore, but I was like, Fimble, the other Fimble ships have
something.
massive guns.
Yeah.
Like the Mamba's like, oh yeah, check these out.
Yeah.
I like the Mamba, the Enforcer, and the Pierce F4.
That
was
Enforcer is sexy, man.
yeah.
That looks like something straight out of Gundam. Like it's just a big flying gun,
hmm
and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Did you say what your fleet composition looks like now, Nib, or Kep?
My fleet.
Yeah. What's your plans for your like? What are your fleet plans? Do you buy based
Yeah.
on it's a cool ship, or do you have like a plan for the ship in the future?
My plans have been changing a lot since the beginning. Just as also Star Atlas has been changing a lot. You know, at first I got some ships like partially because of score, because of the rewards as an
Right.
investment also, but partially also based on what I like about the role and the design also. And by the way, in Spanish, I did a ranking, analyzing and ranking the ships and giving points to the ships with the community. We analyzed all of the ships. I also have to start the second edition of that. So,
Love
yeah,
Theorycraft.
yeah, we were analyzing each ship, like 2 or 3 ships each night on Fridays, and it was awesome because we were talking about everything about the ships, all about strategies, the design, if it's useful or not in the game, or if it's gonna be more useful in the game than the other ones, if it's gonna be good for a good investment, like it's gonna get a higher price later, at some point, and then also if playing the game it was gonna be more rewarding or not, you know, and it's part of the things that I take into account when I bought some ships, and I still do that. But now for Sage, I typically do a mix of that role and investment. I mean, for example, for me, Rainbow, of course, it's a good investment. It's going to be difficult to craft. Some people think that you need ships of your faction.
Right.
I don't think so.
Well, they said you don't.
Exactly.
It's just easier, right, to get the blue faction.
Easier to learn for crew or something like that. They said, but
But
yeah, X5s are even a really good investment. I got my X5 swarm, and it's holding value pretty decent.
but a lot of people thought or still think that if you get your faction ships, it's going to be easier to repair or to get a new one or so. Of course, to get a new one, maybe it's easier, yeah. But to repair, it's going to be the same. Yeah, I mean, we are going to use the toolkits,
Right.
and that's it. So far, it's what we know. So the only thing for me is that you're going to get easier to get or harder to get ship, you know.
It'll be interesting, like in this game, you actually care about the fuel economy of a ship, right? Like a lot of games, you're like, I don't care how much it costs to fill this thing back up and how far I can go. But in this, that'll be part of your strategy. It's like, okay, well, I got to move these, and the Rainbow is 10 times more fuel efficient than the backlight, or I don't know. That's not a real value. I'm just making in my mind. Like stuff like that, you'll have to take into account because
Yeah.
it will affect you.
You're gonna have to think of, okay, this, hey, this, I just got attacked by this, fleet or something, right? Oh, I gotta get out of here. So, my fleet's faster. They could travel, longer than this fleet. If this fleet chases you, that one fleet might be in trouble. So you could play little strategies around that. Which fleets could go a certain distance or whatever. In Sage. So.
Okay, I got a good question for both of you. excluding the Titans, what's your dream ship? Where would you like to live if you were in the metaverse?
I like the C11 and the Tree Arrow, both of those. But realistically, I probably will eventually have a C9. Getting close to that.
Yeah, I like the Tree Arrow as the biggest dream, except for the Titans, of course. And then the Ballad. The Ballad is in a good range, a good price range right now, but still haven't gotten there,
I think that the Ballad is the coolest looking large ship, in my opinion, or the capital ship. I think just like the way it's designed, and then it comes and it has a hangar, but it's just a landing. Like I think it looks awesome. But
I just don't know how many ships you could hold on that.
But yeah, because it just says one, or it says capital hangar slot, but we don't know how big that is.
Does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but they showed some pictures with some Amways.
Seen it.
Yeah, it has
Seen
like
an
three
Amway,
Amways,
Opod.
and then
Yeah, the
Opod on it,
Opod, yeah, something like that. By the way, we have Danny. He
Hey,
says he's
Danny.
watching from the Philippines. Good job,
Hey,
guys.
that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're
Hey, welcome.
totally international today.
Yeah.
Wow. I think my dream is the C11, but I want to get one, but I'm like, filling that thing up would be a daunting task because it's got like 5 capital hangars, 11 large. Like the stats on it are out of control.
Yeah, I got like 10 million of each R4. If you had C9, C11, I wonder how much would you have to stock up for Sage when it earns player versus player supplies, Like I really think some people are gonna have
to live in a T5 hab. Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah. I think some people are gonna have capital ships and not be able to fill it because people are gonna be outrageous with the prices of R4.
Well, I know that Andre, he said that he'll be using his C11, and I was like, well, I got plenty of stuff to fill your hangars up with.
Yeah.
And that's probably what you'll have to do is just, if you own these big ships, you're going to need a group of people to help you fill those hangars.
Gladiator said he likes the Guardian.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
it's
nice
sexy.
one, yeah.
Like,
yeah, grow food on it,
like
everything.
Something where it's comfortable, and I think that's a cool looking. I think they're all cool.
Yeah, that's a thing. They are all cool, except in our analysis and ranking of the ships, there was one that we even keep it like something that we laugh everything we talk about it. I'm not gonna say the name here because it's gonna be like, oh no, really. But there's one that got like several zeros in design and in some other things, but the rest of them, they were like all of them are good. Half of the ships were like from 7, the average score 7 to 8.8. I think was the Ballad one, by the way.
The Ballad took number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, because that makes you want to buy one more.
Not only because of the design, but because of all the specs. It has a lot of things. And Danny likes the F4. Danny, that's a good shape also.
I even like the Unabombas. I got a fleet of Unabombas and X4s ready for bombing runs. Just a swarm of them.
See that bomb go off for the first time and watch the trees grow out of the ground. Like I was saying in the Star Atlas Discord, I was like, you need the opposite too. So we need a Ooster ship that drops a bomb full of nanobots that build cities.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So they drop their bomb and it starts raising a bunch of trees, and all of a sudden you come and you're like, metropolitan area. Clown.
And we got Ace King saying, in the old days, 2021, we thought we could put 8 mediums in a capital hangar like a ballad, but with the recent artwork, it seems 4 is more realistic.
Yeah, and I think that all of that's probably going to be subject to change as those
Hmm.
ships get further down the gray box, because a lot of so at least what happens in Star Citizen, have these ideas like this is what the ship is going to be. These are all the things that we're going to do in that ship, and then as the design goes, they realize that they're going to have to make the ship bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because
Yeah.
like if you don't make the hallway big enough, you can't get certain things through, like, and all that kind of stuff gets fleshed out. So I think they'll probably get a clear what exactly a capital hangar is
Hmm.
as we go on. Like, because I'm sure that it won't be like you can fit this many F4s, but it'll be like it's got this many like this many medium sized pads, or and
I think it's gonna be more like a volume of space, and then we have these fleet points, or what are they called in Sage manual? It's like
it's
Loyalty?
yeah.
the points.
Well, you have to increase the amount of people you can have in your fleet, right?
But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I mean
To level it up.
the volume of space, or the points each ship takes into a fleet. I think that they can use it the same way for the hangars. You know, something like if your ship is medium, and this kind of ship, it takes like 2 points, and the other one takes 3 points, and the total hangar can hold up to 5 points. Then that's it. Something like that. That's my idea. They can use the same point system or volume system.
I know that they did say that having carriers affects your points value just and by having it, right? So like if you have this many fleet points, but you have a carrier, it
Yeah.
adds so many points to it so
Yeah.
that you can make use of the ship.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Have you guys read through all the Sage manuals?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I did it in Spanish every Tuesday, and we just finished a couple of weeks ago. We were doing 8 different parts of the manual, like around 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours each day, each night, going through the manual and analyzing it and reading it, and very interesting. If you speak Spanish, go and check it
Hey
out.
man, just run it through one of those subtitle and it can put English subtitles on there for you.
Yeah, also. Yeah, right.
Or like
See,
in the
AI
future
bot.
we can work together.
What's Daddy? What's Daddy 13? They use if it fits, it sits.
It
In
sits.
Unreal Engine 5, in Sage, it is points, but still being worked on. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I wonder, like, so in Star Citizen, as another example, if you have like a cargo bay, well, there will be hangars and stuff too, but you have to snap in the things, or else they will bounce around and damage your ship. I wonder if the hangars in our capital ships will be like you have to land. It has to have a landing place where it can be secured, or else during movement it'll shift around and could destroy your own ship or something.
Yeah.
Well, based on
hope-
Unreal Engine, it has a physics besides what Star Atlas can make about it, but it has a physics system, and so things can move and fall down or whatever. So it's totally doable, you know.
If it fits, it fits.
Yeah.
Solas, you were going to say something.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you know, it's cool how like the you know, you have to clip in those ships and stuff like you were saying. But I hope, you know, Star Atlas will be a little more I don't know, like easier to manage than, you know, going around doing all that prep work and stuff like that, you know. Like a you know, not as extensive Star Citizen, but like just a tad more arcadish, but not too crazy arcadish. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
balance.
Good quality of life. Good quality of life balance.
Like you don't have to go prep everything for 3 hours before you go on a mission. You know? I did that in the military. It's no fun.
I'm
Yeah.
already living real life. I don't need another one.
No, I'm good.
Okay, and we didn't respond, by the way, I'm remembering right now, about the crew. The whole round was asking what
The
strategies.
crafting for the
Yeah,
crew. Yeah.
because of the members of the ships, he was asking about the air bikes strategy. That's because of the crew, and if you can have a lot of air bikes with one crew member per bike, you can have a lot of crew for crafting. So what do you think
Crew
about
per
that?
dollar average, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have enough space to even make that beneficial? Because, like, all right, so right now I've got one tier 0 hab that came with an extra small crafting station. How many people will they let me throw on? Right? I have space stations that they say will have crafting in them too. So I guess, you can how many people will each one take is my question.
I
Yeah,
think the
so
limit is
I wonder
more in
how many.
the fleet
Mhm.
and
I
the
wonder how
rank.
many central space stations, like, hey, how many people does this space station, or not space station, what is it called? Star,
Starbase?
think of the word. Starbase, thank you. How many people could a Starbase hold, and how many ships? So if I have 100 air bikes, I'm gonna sit there and craft. How many more people could camp
Yeah,
out at that?
Gladiator was asking the same thing, like about having 50 air bikes, but we also don't understand the ramifications of having a crew, right?
Mhm.
Like, so if I've got 200 people that are my crew, what is it going to take to upkeep those guys?
Yep.
And like, so am I going to like if I'm not on top of them all the time making crafting, am I going to start burning through food or
Mhm.
money? Or like, is there going to come a time where the crew has to have like you have to pay them?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know any of those answers. So
I'm
and
interested with the whole training academy stuff they were talking about during the brews. Sending your whatever crew to learn this knowledge or whatever at a training academy. How much that's going to cost? What supplies do you need? How much will that training up that crew will eventually cost you, rather than just a you know Joe Schmo kind of guy, I guess, crew member. And I wonder when crew member sales go on sale, or are you just going to be able to create your own crew members and train them up? It's all interesting.
I would say maybe in the beginning, why not buy the air bikes while they're dirt cheap? And
Yep.
at least then you're going to get the airdrop of the crew members. And if eventually they got to get sold or you got to, I mean, if they become a problem, you burn them. But at
Yeah.
least now, if you get them, you'll get the crew member and you can see how that works out for you.
Yeah, people been burning air bikes.
Sacrificial air bike burn.
Yeah,
I burnt
for Sage,
burnt a C11.
for Sage, as far as I remember right now, I think having the crew just like that is not costing any food. It's more based on what you do with them, like fighting. A battle burns fuel and ammunition, and some other things burn food and so on. But if you're not doing anything, it's not costing anything, I think. So I think if you use them, you're gonna get something back. So I think maybe it's a good idea to, if you're really into crafting, maybe it's a good idea to have a lot of air bikes. It's cheap, and not only that, in the future, this is an important thing. We're not gonna get just our avatar, our player, our character. It's gonna be like you have your character, but you can switch to another character. So if you have more characters, you can switch. Even if you have a lot of characters, you can put them in a bigger ship, and specialize them in certain roles, and then you can switch to them and take the control of one of them. And that's going to be important also if your character dies. So if you die, it's not that you die; it's one character dies, and you can take another one.
I used to play some Rainbow Six games way back when, and I really liked how they had their teams or crew system kind of thing. So, you go on these missions, and you like first you train up with your team, right? You're training with your team, and then you go on these missions. You gain more experience. You train your team in certain objects or whatever subjects. And then these missions you gain more XP. But if you're hurt on mission, okay, then you have to sit out for so many days or whatever, right? And then you get replaced by a new recruit or whatever. But if you die, a new recruit takes its place, and they're base level. So you might have several trained up crew and then just one one boot. But so I kind of thought that was interesting. I kind of liked that about Rainbow Six.
What if Automata starts making us process like HR requests and stuff? Like, oh, you got a big company. Sally needs some time off, so you're gonna need to process her PTO.
Well, they were saying in a brew that food. What was it? I don't think they're gonna be able to like revolt or anything. I don't know. Maybe they can, but they were talking about having your crew entertained and fed and whatever.
Well, you got to keep them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Got to keep morale up.
Yep.
Yeah, for that maybe some ships like the Yoda Stories. Yeah, it seems to have not only a theater, but there was one image which said something about the hotel. Did you see that picture?
Yeah.
That was
what?
The Yoda Stories having a hotel. It seemed to have a hotel inside.
You could bring other people and take them places, and they can be nice and comfy.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and I think you heard about this website that it became known recently. It's a friend of mine, a Spanish friend, but his website is well known right now because of what he created with the Sage manual, kind of simulation where you can choose different ships and compare the ships, or also the points of the council rank and create your fleets and simulate those kind of things. He has a project where his main idea is he has a Yoda Stories, and that's his project. He has more ships, just like to do other things or to protect the big ship, but he wants to run the business with the Yoda Stories, and now he discovered that image with the hotel, and it was like mind-blowing because suddenly the Yoda Stories was good for that business, like entertaining and so on, but now with the hotel, I have another friend whose idea and whose project is having a hotel in the metaverse, his Cosmos Hotel.
Yep.
And he didn't have the way to do it yet, but he plans to do it somehow in the future. But now this ship has a hotel inside. It's crazy. It's huge. What do you think about hotels?
You think we're gonna have a club casino?
Well, a casino is a little difficult because of other legal things or taxes or some things like that. But
we talked about it a few times, but we don't want the SEC or anything coming after us. But that's kind of like a second job for me.
All of a sudden, we start getting calls from the Italian mob.
Yeah,
We heard you guys are running a casino, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like my
but
little
the club,
side hustle.
one of the main ideas of the club since a long time ago, almost since the beginning, it's about creating the club city, and that obviously will have a lot of things. And by the way, they gave us long ago an NFT of the club city.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the first members. I don't remember how many members, but maybe 1,000 verified members long ago. Verified members is not normal members in Discord. Everyone can join, but verified members we verify in a process in the Discord and so on. So it's like really more involved in some ways.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm saying this for people who don't know about it, but we got an NFT like that. For, it's gonna be part of the lore for sure, and it's gonna be something that may become important or valuable in the future. I also know about some people who sold it some time ago, like for around $100 or something like that already.
Yeah.
Imagine
I
when,
wasn't a member yet.
yeah, imagine when
Missed out.
we finally have a city, the value of that NFT, it can increase a lot. Yeah.
I mean,
But
people scoff at, like a tier 5 hab costs money, but I was looking at buying land in other metaverses, and
yeah,
you're looking like and even large companies are buying like $10 million plots of land
Hmm.
and this or 10 million in that, because like digital real estate, I can see it having actual real world, like significant real world value, as long as there's a cap on how much, like if they can just keep adding more and more space, but if they have a set limit on how much that there will be, then yeah, digital land could actually become pretty valuable
Yeah.
in an
I'm
entire
excited.
city.
especially in the central space station, because as we can see in Sage manual, we're gonna get more systems with more planets as more players come into the game. That's gonna grow in a kind of balance, because otherwise it would be unbalanced. But the central space station is gonna be only one. It's
Right.
not, they are not gonna create more and more and more. So if you got land in there, that's gonna be unique. And
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be funny if somebody bought that tier 1 land? I can't remember how much. I think there was like $1,500 or something like that. And then in 5 years it's worth $6 million. That would,
yeah.
I got one.
I mean, that's not realistic, but like,
Hopefully, I got one. That'll be nice.
yeah, I bet that would be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it would be cool to build the club city. I'll be interested in all
Yeah.
the since we're multi-faction and all that. But what do you guys think about the whole factions for Sage and the whole multi-faction discussion and all that? What do
Wow.
you guys think about that?
That's a big topic.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you have, like, if all the factions are peaceful and everyone's connected, then that does limit your combat kind of to pirates and stuff like that. I don't know. I think the club has made the right choice by being multi-faction, at least until like early on, right? And then if it becomes beneficial to dial that down and be like, hey guys, we love you all, but if we need everybody to move to this because this is what we're gonna do, then we have to be ready to be flexible with that. At least in my opinion.
well, I think multiple games, like Eve or whatever, you could pick whatever faction and still be in the same org, and you know, uh, you know, like World of Warcraft, you could be whatever race and still be in the same, alliance or whatever. But horde or whatever. So yeah, I think a lot of these games are, already have the multi-faction thing built in. So I think that's what this game's gonna be as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a matter of strategy, coordination, and also politics. To put it in a short way. But this topic alone has had quite a
The whole
few,
podcast.
quite a few brews already. Stratos brews.
Right.
That's a huge topic and not very clear for a lot of people. It's not gonna be easy in Sage, of course, but our plan, as Lloyd always reminds us, and he says all the time when he's asked about it, is the thing when the club decided to be multi-faction was when we were planning about the UE game, Real Engine game. So it was about especially the high risk zone. Okay, so
Right.
it's easier to get together there in a club city, but there are ways to do it in the rest of the zones, of course.
Gladiator says, I think faction loyalty may be more important in the beginning and less important once the game becomes more expansive. I can see that, especially because we're clawing for the same small set of resources, so it might be important to focus in on one.
Do you ever think these minor factions are going to be joinable in the future? Like, are you going to be able to be a pirate and attack any faction, or are you going to be able to join, the Ecos or Jorvik or whatever they're called?
Well, you might be like what you would call factionless, right?
Yeah.
And then that makes you entitled to all the little things.
Mhm.
I could see that happening, and but there would be serious ramifications to not having a central space station and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So if somebody wants to do that, I think they'll have to be pretty dedicated to getting their own resources all the time.
Yep.
But the thing is that also right now, if you want, as they say it right now, if you want to go into the game, you have to go to a central space station. I mean, from your wallet, your ship goes to a central space station. So they are trying to make us choose a faction and then play with your faction. That's the main Startless idea, as I see it. But I think this is like life, there are ways, and life finds a way to do anything, and things that you don't expect or you didn't think about, they will become possible. Sometimes it's like that, and we have a long future, so a lot of things can happen.
And that's one thing. There's a lot of things that are up in the air, theory crafting and stuff, and we don't have solid answers on. But I think that part of the theory crafting is fun, right? And then mostly what makes me excited is to just evolve with it, right? Keep following it, learn it, and then we can modify our strategies as we go and
Yeah,
make them fit however we have to.
exactly. That's one very important point. We can evolve. We can change things if we need to, and I think it's going to be like that because we don't know a lot of things about the game, even about Sage. So
Right.
we don't know how it's going to work for not only the mechanics. I mean politics and relationships, and how people are going to behave, because everyone can be like, for example, at the beginning, like scared and being careful, or maybe you see everybody going like crazy against each other to get the planets and so on. We don't know, so we can, like you said, do a lot of theory crafting, but we will have to adapt strategies and evolve with it. It's the journey that makes it a unique experience. Yeah, Gladiator.
get that flexibility built in now. That way, as time goes, we adapt and we're ready for it, and then we stay,
Yeah.
subs on top.
Yeah. Okay, we are around 1.5 hours in, so
Wow.
Oh man,
I told
you
you.
guys are fun to talk to.
I told you.
We were
I
playing on
told you.
30 minutes to an hour.
I told you time flies by in this way when we
Yep.
talk about things in this way. Yeah,
Mhm.
it flies very fast. And some people say, "What? How do you do live streams like 3 or 4 hours long in Spanish?" Well, I have friends who talk a lot.
It's easy to talk about something that you're passionate.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And then it's a lot of things that you can talk about. So easy to talk with people like you. I think this is a very good first podcast. I mean the group, the natural way, the feeling. This it's a good first live stream with you.
Well, so I'm at some dude 82SC on basically every platform. So if you guys want to check me out, please
The
do.
YouTube channel right there.
I look forward to
Yeah,
I look forward to growing a community of Star Atlas players, and hopefully that community has a big cross session with my Star Citizen friends.
you can
That's what I'm
type in the chat. You can type in the chat. Not maybe the link because I have a kind of Tigu also, but but you can type the name and they can search for your channel
Awesome.
like that. Okay, and Gladiator, another great episode. Thanks. Okay, thank you. And by the way, you can click like and subscribe and the bell and all those things if you like it. And stay tuned because we will have more interesting things, tournaments with Vanguard and other friends and allies and not allies, but we're gonna do some interesting things and talking about it. Well,
And for all of Kep's Spanish speaking audience, we really appreciate you guys letting us come over here because I know that not everybody speaks English, so I really appreciate that.
yeah, I'm gonna say that in Spanish just for them, just in case they're here. Gracias chicos por estar ahí como siempre y como ha dicho ahora Somdude, pues gracias por permitirnos estar en inglés también por aquí por el canal y por el apoyo a gente como Tony que se ha pasado por aquí y Lobo y bueno, no sé si me dejo alguno más, pero gracias y tendremos más en inglés y en español y estar atentos porque tendremos que empezar la segunda edición del ranking de naves, otras cosas que haremos en lugar del manual de 6 que ya lo terminamos, así que estar atentos. Yeah, we will talk about more things we can do together, especially if you in the chat have any requests, any ideas, whatever you want to talk about or whatever you want to see, just you can make suggestions and we will take that into account also. And thanks a lot for being there. Thank you, some dudes. Thank you, Solas. And if you want to say something else, you can do it now.
Adios.
If you're looking for a guild, join the club.
Oh, yeah, join
We
the
have
club.
several languages. It's a very cool community.
Let me see if my bot is working. I think it's not working. I'm gonna have to check on that. But
okay,
Can't count on them bots.
Find us on Twitter or whatever. So
yeah. Anyway, you can. I put it earlier, but I'm gonna put it again here. Staratlas.club, explorer.staratlas.club, and you have the website made by the club with tools. And next time we're going to talk about several things, but also the auto resupply tool the club created that can be used by everyone in Star Atlas, not only the club's members. So that's a good one. You can get your ship's auto resupply without even touching a button. So don't miss the next one. Okay, thank you very much and see you next time.
Good one.